Get a ton of viewer mail, and I'm always willing to address your comments and concerns. Dear Wilds, happy Halloween. Maybe for you, not if you're giving out handfuls of candies. Are you guys planning on dressing up for the show? Cheers, Ryan and Brian. Well, they sent this a few days ago. Yeah. Because if they were watching, they would see that we are not dressed up. So in general, no. We are not planning on dressing up. A little bit of a twist on it.
That is nice.
Y'all.
How are you mad at this,
The fake bodies on you guys are much better than the fake bodies. Where's the gut? Where's the gut on you guys?
You want us to put your body on us?
Well, after I complained enough, you put my real body on the Cowboy Brew. But for years, you went with that guy with the gut. He was skinny.
We do look great.
He was skinny. Right, Coach looks like an absolute stud.
Yeah, I would like to take that home. Can you text that to me?
All right, here we go. Number 3. Anthony Richardson. And I know, he's not playing. He got benched because last week he took himself out of the game because he was tired. After he did scramble.
Look at this play.
He did scramble, what, a good 7 yards, 10 yards.
And then look at this hit.
That's every play for Lamar Jackson. Literally every play.
Yeah, I mean, but he was tired, so he took himself out. But here's the deal. And this is not just, initially, I and probably a lot of people thought, okay, it's punishment. He'll sit him for a game. This is going forward. Okay, that's the word. Joe Flacco will be in there. Here's what I got to say to Anthony. Relax. All right, this is not a death knell to your career. It's actually a blessing in disguise because you're not ready. You are not ready, and I am not the one to just throw the rookie quarterback in because, hey, we got 5 years of him on cheap money. Let's put him out there. If you're not ready, you're not ready. You're completing 44% of your passes. That was bad in 1971. It's terrible now. All right, 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 57 passer rating, and 160 yards per game. And so here's what I want you to do, Anthony. Keep the right mentality. This is straight motivation and inspiration. Learn from Joe Flacco. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Learn from your coaches. Just everything, whatever you have to do to get better, do it. Because I do think you have the talent to actually be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Look at Jordan Love, otherwise also known as J-Lo. Look at him. He sat 3 years. And now he's viewed as one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Look at Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, especially Darnold. They had horrible starts to their career. Darnold had a horrible start. And now he's quarterbacking a team that could make the playoffs. Baker's become a legitimately very good quarterback. And even look at Geno Smith, Knicks guy. 2-time Pro Bowler. After a horrific start to his career, he was viewed as a bust. So keep the right mentality, Anthony, and you can overcome this. I believe in you. Good. All right, at number 2, C.J. Stroud. Now, look, this is an odd year for C.J. Stroud because you're 6-2. All right, tonight you got the Jets in New Jersey, so you got to go out there and win that game. But 6-2, you got 11 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. You're 7th in the league, I believe, in total yards passing, teams winning. But it feels like you're not having a great year. Feels like the team's not having a great year, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
And I don't know if you guys will agree with this. This is how it felt for Philadelphia last year when they started 10-1. And it was like, they're not playing that well after games. They were saying it, but they kept winning. And, of course, they fell into a supernatural funk. I don't expect you guys going to a funk, but tonight is a game you got to win. And I get it. You're without Nico Collins. You're without Stephon Diggs, 2 of your best receivers, your 2 best receivers. But still, I believe nobody was talking about Nico Collins and Tank Dell before you got there. So I believe that you are a guy that can play great despite not having the best receiving core. But you can't lose this game to the Jets tonight because this is the type of game. You got Detroit after that. You got a common Dallas team, but hey, they're still Dallas. And you got Kansas City and Baltimore left on the schedule. Don't let this Jets game kind of throw you guys into a spiral. So you got to go out there and get it done. At number 1, Joe Burrow. Now, this is another guy. It's a weird season. Individually, your numbers are individually, this is up there with your best seasons. 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 106 passer rating. but your team is only 3-5. And Joe, you know, in this league, quarterbacks, yes, the stats matter, but we judge you guys on wins. And throwing up big numbers but not making the playoffs is not going to help you. And I'm sure you've heard the rumblings. You even fell. Nick didn't make a big deal out of this, but you fell in Mahomes Mountain. You were consistent 3/4 type guy. Now you fell a little bit. So the rumblings are, is Joe Burrow overrated? The rumblings are, is Joe Burrow the same guy without his two Avenger receivers, without one of them? The rumblings are, Joe Burrow is living off of beating Patrick Mahomes one game in the playoffs 3 years ago. All right, so Joe, I think you are a great quarterback, but you got to go out there and start winning. You guys are far from out of it in the playoffs. But if you lose to the Raiders, they're decent, but if you lose to the 2-win Raiders, then it's just like you're not good enough to make a playoff.
Could you imagine losing to the Raiders and thinking you're a championship contender?
Well, if you had a bunch of wins before that, it'd be okay. But, Joe, I do believe in you. So, there it is.
Brew, excellent list, as always. I had C.J. Stroud on a couple of weeks ago. I understand that. And I'm going to put somebody on this list, and it pains me to do it because we talk about him ad nauseum, but I'm adding Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
And here's why. Aaron Rodgers has historically played really well on Thursday night. Can we bring up what Aaron Rodgers has done on Thursday Night Football? So he's 12-5, good completion percentage, yards per game, right on passer rating 106.5. So there's that element to it, okay? And then the second element to it is on Halloween. He's only played on Halloween one other time in his career, which was a victory, and the only time he played was in this stadium against the New York Jets. And that was in 2010. And now, New York Jets fans, here's what happened in 2010. It was an up-and-down season. They snuck into the playoffs. They won 3 road playoff games, and they won the Super Bowl. So tonight, you need to put on your MVP costume.
Wow.
Put it on for this chronically underachieving team. He's played on Halloween once in this stadium. They won the game. He's played well on Thursday night. Let's see if we can maybe salvage something from something that looks unsalvageable.
Coach, well done. Aaron Rodgers is almost becoming like an automatic Bud list guy. He's been on so much the last month that I just said this is kind of like outside of Aaron Rodgers, these guys on there. But also, Coach, your graphic game is on fleek. Your graphic game is spectacular.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Your graphic game is spectacular.
Thank you so
on
much.
fleek.
They
still say that somewhere. They say that somewhere.
She doesn't even know what that means. 4 years.
No, guys, people want to watch the show and they are forcibly changing the channel because they're so uncomfortable. All right, before we put anything on the screen, Kevin Wiles.
Oh, yeah?
You don't like when I call you KW?
I don't dislike it.
What's my job 410 on Thursdays?
Unfortunately, and this was not part of the segment, you decided to carve out your own segment within the segment to be the media ombudsman.
The sports media ombudsman.
Sports
yes,
media
that
ombudsman.
is correct.
We don't
get it right.
I survey to figure out what needs ombudding, and then I delivered it for her. And today is Halloween. And again, like, one of the best things, most underrated things about sports, the uniforms. Looks clean. Everyone, you get fined if it's your socks down. And sports media tends to emulate that a bit. The show, you turn on the facility. All the guys are dressed thematically the same, kind of like a cool, formal, athleisure almost.
Sure.
On the Herd, guys wearing button-down shirts, collars, talking sports. We wear ties. Everyone on Speak After Us looks impeccable every day. The game broadcast. You watch our Fox pregame show, Poppy and A-Rod, all those guys. Tonight, Thursday Night Football. That's a bad example, but in general, you guys follow. They all make sense. 364 days a year. And then one day a year, everyone loses their mind. And that's today. So you know what I'm putting under duress? Sports media dressing up for Halloween. That's Brew as Dracula, but that's not even the point of this. That's you. The point is this. We, as a sports media collective, have to decide. I don't know who wants to hold a meeting. Wiles, you're the leader of the show. Maybe you can become the leader of all of us. Are we doing it or not on Halloween? Because shows are confused, man. Turn on Breakfast Bowl this morning, Craig and Mark look normal, Danny's a banana. I turn on The Herd, Colin looks like Colin. J-Mac is a Cobra Kai guy or Karate Kid guy. I know what you're doing, J-Mac, showing off the gun show. Good job, I get it, but still, it's disorienting. I showed up today ready to go.
As what?
I was going to be the Meals by Cougine guy. Are we doing it or are we not? Are we dressing up for Halloween or are we not dressing up for Halloween? Because if we are, we can do it. If we're not, then let's be professionals.
Oh, that's the real guy?
That's the guy.
Oh, I thought that was you.
No, that's
wow, you look just like him.
I know.
Yes, everyone says that.
It would have. A guy at the Yankee game yesterday came up to me and said, "Oh my God, I watched all your stuff. Can I take a picture?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, good. First things first, man." While he's taking the picture, someone calls him. You know what he says? "Hold on, I gotta call you back. I'm taking a picture with Cougine." I'm not him, but today I could have been.
Wow.
These guys wouldn't dress up. So either we're doing it or we're not, America.
Crazy
Excellent.
accurate.
Impressive. Impressive, Nick.
Let this
all I got to
wave
say.
crest. I don't need any more messages saying, "Hey, is this Nick Wright? I've seen the message." We'll go back to sports. Excellent media on Bud.
I gotta take this off now. I'm gonna look ridiculous.
Oh, you look good.
That looks like a
it's a
Nuggets
good
warm-up
look.
from
It
like
also
the
happens to him, I
70s,
assume.
80s.
You know
He's
what?
out here trying to eat a sandwich. Like, stop talking bad about Brock Purdy. He's like, what?
Yeah,
What are you
that's
talking
probably
about?
true.
You guys probably won't be surprised by this. I've never heard of him. What's his name?
shocked.
Cougine?
Right.
Hey, I never heard of dude. Well, look, I'm
I'm putting
Google
Juan
him.
Soto, back to sports, I'm putting Juan Soto on the Bud list. Yankees in a bad spot, bro.
Soto.
Really bad spot. Here's some Soto highlights
Yeah.
for you. He's 26. He had 41 home runs this year and 166 hits. And guess what? He's going to be a free agent. Maybe there'll be a hometown discount? Nope. Not at all. So then the Yankees fans tried to do their part. Say, Juan Soto, it said $600 million. He crossed it out. Said $650. I got bad news for you. Call Ravitch today.
Yes,
He's going to
I
get
heard
something that starts with a 7, if not an 8. So if you're poor Yankees brass, you cannot go to the World Series, win one game, have him be your big stud and say, you know what? We're going to pinch our pennies. Juan Soto is going to be able to ask for whatever he wants, and the Yankees are going to have to pay it.
Well,
Yankees are on the Bud list. Juan Soto's not on the Bud list.
no, I'm with you. And there's talk that the Dodgers might go for it.
Do you
know
think
if
that
that's
was
just true or-
gamesmanship?
It could be.
They are paying
I mean,
Ohtani like Brock Purdy's salary. So
Yeah,
that
but
is
know what I
Ohtani
was
starts
hearing?
with a 7.
what?
I told you.
Roy?
What I was hearing, the Royals. Soto, Bobby Witt, 2-3.
I will say this:
Well, you
if
have to worry about
I'm
the other way.
Juan Soto, I'm going. He should stay in a big market. Either
Yes.
the Yankees,
Kansas
the
City.
Dodgers, maybe the Red Sox, but stay in a big market. Don't go disappear. We've seen that. We've seen guys leave the Yankees and go somewhere that's not one of the other big markets, and they just disappear.
People know
800
who
million?
Patrick Mahomes is. Travis
You could
Kelce.
disappear.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.